All right, this is just going to be another recap about another ticket trade I took this morning, or well, yesterday morning, on my funded. I recently got funded, and that was my first trade on my funded account. And I'm currently requesting a payout for that account because it was a win. It was a $750 win. And I just want to go through, what went through my mind, my drawn liquidity, the reason why I took that trade, and kind of my state of mind of, what was going on psychologically because I mean it's my first payout. It's my first ever withdrawal I'm going to make from trading. So I mean it is a pretty big moment for every like beginner successful trader. Like people who are starting to get profitable. And yeah, let's just go straight to it. So the trade was took on a Friday, and the first thing I looked at, I didn't look at the higher time frame because I mean this framework really happens every time. Like I see that really often, so I'm kind of used to it of what's gonna happen. So, and it only happens on Fridays, but if you get NFP on Friday and 8:30 at NFP, we see a big candle. So 8:30, we just leaves a big candle. We rally up, and then at 9:30, we see well, starting to dip lower. To bring back to what we did at 8:30, we didn't took any sell side, and we left that for later because that was my draw, and I was looking for shorts because of what happened at 9:30. Because at 9:30 we started pushing lower. And that was kind of like, okay, we're definitely in a sell model and we're definitely going back for that 830 low and that liquidity pool we left at 830. Because look what 830 did, right? That was NFP. So we push higher, right? And look how it's sloppy, right? It starts to get up here, right? And it's really sloppy. And then we give ASMT. There was also I think a fair value gap on the hourly chart we were chasing back into. And like, we're obviously in a premium, we're looking for shorts. And we're oversold because we're above. If we look at the opening prices as well from each candles, 8:30 and 9:30, both opening prices, they opened higher. So 9:30 opened above 8:30 in a relative premium environment because we're looking for shorts, right? This is a premium. So your goal should have take trades in the upper portion of the 9:30 open. So I don't know, it could be this order block you can take a short off, or this volume balance you can short up, or this breaker. It can be whatever, but it needs to be around that opening price or above it if you can. If it doesn't, if you can catch on the breakout, then that's fine. But if you want the best entries, you usually got to be above it. But it's good. So, it's just a little signature I want to show you guys. Um, and I took my entry best on inversion for value gap on the 2 minute, and there was a lot of for value gaps. But I looked at this one, which is really random. I know a lot of people don't like taking that, but it is my model. And something I've kind of came to conclusion is that I'll just extend that because there's a volume imbalance, and there's not a gap up here. Like something I've came to realize is that there's a volume imbalance because usually what people do is that once we get a close on this inversion for value gap, they want to cash it, they want to short it right there. But if you got a volume imbalance like in the like above the close, I see always says that if you got a volume imbalance, like pretty much every time it's gonna get traded back to, even if it's against the draw, like there's a 90% chance that it's gonna get tagged. And if you're catching inversions, you got to look for those kind of things. I'm just starting to notice it. You should probably get data on it as well. But I mean, that's just something I'm starting to notice is that if you get a volume balance above your inversion entry, probably wait for a retracement back to your IVG or take the volume balance trade. But for me, when it rallied up, I was shorting that, and I shorted around here, I think, and my stop was above this high, so it came really close. And I can remember myself thinking, like, "Oh my God, there's no way this is today my stop loss." Like, that didn't close, right? And it's fine having those thoughts, right? Because you can't really like you can have those thoughts, that's fine, but you can't let them control your actions. That is you. This should not happen. Like if you start feeling that way and you start acting differently based on this is not good. And your goal isn't to control when they're gonna occur. Your goal is to control how to deal with them, and that's a really important thing. So, I took my trade. I was risking a little bit less because I didn't felt confident risking more. So, see, I know my limits. I trade on a $25,000 account, and I wasn't feeling comfortable risking 250, so I risk a little bit less. I risk like around 190, 200. So see, I know my limits, and as long as I know my limits, I won't do anything stupid. Because think about it, if you do one thing outside of your comfort zone, it just builds up and it goes into an avalanche, and then you start doing more dumb mistakes and more stupid shit. And if I do one thing that I don't feel comfortable doing with, or I just don't feel comfortable doing it at all, I'm gonna start doing some other random stuff like, oh, you know what? I'm a TP more. I'm gonna go for a larger take profit, or I'm gonna try my stop loss more aggressively. That's irrational stuff you don't want to have in your trading, right? So I had my stop above this high because we bounced this for value gap, right? And I said, oh, I could get turtle soup, right? But look, very nice signature as well. We get a fairless swing up here. So we came back to the gap on time, and then price failing to take this high shows indication that we're weak and that we are heavy. So yeah. And to go back on the trade ideas, so took my stop loss at this high, and I was targeting the sell side. Because look what we did at A30. See how we did not took any liquidity? We just left that like laying down there. I'll just add a little bit more right here. Like that is just, I don't know, man. But if I would see that laying down there with that kind of profile, or A30 pushes higher and I-30 starts dumping, it's pretty much like, you don't even ask questions, it needs to go there. But see, you can't put, you know, expectations on if it's gonna do it or not. It's likely to do it, but it could not do it. And see, just like when it came almost close to my stop loss, it could have stopped me out. Just like, it can edge it and then just ran like it did. And that's what happened. And, you know, yeah, started the sell side and it was around $750, risking 190. So it was around like a 3.8 risk to reward, I think. I should probably go check in my journal, but I think it was like 3.8. And yeah, I mean, my thought process and what was going on in my mind, I'll be honest, I felt less pressure in that trade than in any other trade on my funded. And I think it kind of comes down to why like you really want to do this trading stuff. You know, a lot of people they do it for the money. Well, everyone's kind of doing it for the money, but there's got to be a reason behind that. And I think once you realize, what you're really doing with, and understanding that trading will not fulfill any of your necessities right now, and that you're already happy the way you are right now, it kind of removes that kind of pressure. Because, all that materialistic stuff, the cars, the vacation, all that stuff like that, it will bring you nowhere if you're not happy. And I mean, this is kind of why I think I realized that, I don't really need that trading stuff. I just do it because, I mean, it brings some level of comfort that I want, but I could still not do it and be happy, right? So it's all about happiness, right? We all do that for a reason. And, it takes time. It's not something easy. And you got to reflect on that. Money wise, I thought about closing my trade. I'll tell you guys exactly what I thought about closing my trade. Right there. When we were closing that A30 low, I was like, oh, should I close it? I was like, right there, should I close it? I said, fuck no. Because I started thinking about why am I really doing this for? And also think about the regret, bro. Because, I mean, think about it. If you know you shouldn't hold and you just close the trade, how are you going to feel afterwards? You're going to feel bad. You're going to feel like, oh, why did I do this? You're going to put this on yourself. And you should. But see, that brings unnecessary pressure on yourself they don't need. Just because you did something wrong. Because you thought it was going to do something, it didn't. Or it did. You remove the expectations about price, what price will do or not. It can literally do whatever the fuck it wants. Like proof example right there. It literally edged my stop loss. Did I give a shit? A little bit, yes, but did I close my trade? Fuck no. That's the mindset you need to have, bro. It could literally go on both. Listen, if you're taking a short, it could edge your stop and go up. Just like you get to stop by a tick and then run your take profit. It runs on both sides. And see, you can't control that. And if you can't be comfortable with that idea, just quit trading, bro, because you will never get past that level of success. You will be cooked. But yeah. So I hope I didn't talk for too long. I mean, kind of rant session, but I hope you guys found that insightful. And I'll see you guys in the next one.